Hey guys, it's Mari here, and I want to start off this little philosophical video with a question. Have you ever lost motivation after you reached a certain goal? Have you ever felt like that there's just not enough drive to keep going? There's not enough motivation there to keep you pursuing, to keep you hungry for more. And I see this pattern. It's kind of what I decided to make this video, is that a lot of guys will get to their end goal. Let's say in terms of fat loss, they're going to have abs, they're going to look shredded, they're going to post a ton of pictures on Instagram, on Facebook, they're going to get a lot of validation, a lot of likes, a lot of comments, people appreciating them, and all this external reinforcement of how great they are. But after that point, they're just going to fall off track. They're not going to even try hard anymore. Not only that they're not doing what they used to do to get to that level, but they've also just reverted back to just not caring about it at all. It's almost like you don't care anymore. Have you ever been in that situation? I mean, I personally have experienced a little bit of that, but I never went to that extreme of completely falling off track and completely neglecting it afterwards. And it's kind of interesting why this happens. And that's something I wanted to share with you guys here as kind of my theory and my hypothesis, why this happens, and ultimately what can we do about it. So, I mean, let's approach this from multiple different angles. So number one angle, of course, when you get a ton of validation and post any transformation photo online, you're going to get a ton of likes and a lot of comments. It almost feels like, okay, that's it. And because you got that external validation and you got that kind of reward, people are rewarding your effort. People always see the tip of the iceberg. They don't see the whole journey, but they still give you some reward. They still give you some kind of praise, and you're like a different person in their eyes. And that's great, but it is not strong enough as probably your expectation was. Your expectation was probably that you're gonna be like this magical being, flying around like Superman and with abs of steel and walking around and going through a wall, crushing it. And it often doesn't match the expectation that we have in our mind, which is usually hyped up through all the media and all the BS that you read online. It's like, oh, magical attraction, everybody likes you, you're more dominant with your friends, your people are listening to you, you're more persuasive, girls are chasing you, everybody's now reacting to you because you're this alpha male, because you just got a six-pack, and now you just got a bunch of Facebook likes, and you just kind of woke up the next day and you feel like the same person. So what the hell is wrong here? Why haven't I gotten that response that I had in my head? That's one reason. The second reason is that external motivation, external rewards, and that's how we often start the journey, is either we want to impress ourselves or we want to impress someone else. There's always something that is kind of like, when you start out, if you're not really mature in your self-development, it's always going to have a little bit of that ego component there. And the problem with that external reward and that approaching it from an external motivation standpoint is that it's almost like a little kid. You give a kid, I don't know, $5 to take out the trash. The kids are glad to do that. They love that, right? And you do that for a week. You give them $5 to take out the trash for a couple of times a week. But in a couple of weeks, they're going to ask for $6. After that, they're going to ask for $7. Soon, they're going to ask for $10. Soon, they're going to ask for $20. What happened there? Well, the $5 was a motivator in the beginning. It felt new. It felt like you're earning a lot. But after a while, why aren't I getting 6? Why aren't I getting 7? Because you don't get the same high from 5 anymore. And that habituation kicks in. Similarly, with gym, let's say you reach that certain PR or reach that certain goal with your abs, you got those photos out, you got that. It's either, well, I need to get leaner, or I need to stay leaner, or I need to get new PRs, or I need to do something more to keep myself engaged, to keep myself pursuing something. And of course, you can be hungry, and that is great, and you should be hungry for more. But the problem is that as you're more in the fitness journey, in the beginning, the results are coming much, much faster. And that's something we kind of forget. We forget that the first year of training, the first 2 years, that's where you're going to make bulk of your gains. That's where you can literally make gains that are visible on a week-to-week basis, compared to, let's say, the third, the fourth, the fifth year of training. I mean, the results are very, very slow. And that's just because you're closer to your genetic potential. And you have to develop patience. You have to develop true motivation coming from within. And that's something that kind of this video is leading toward, is ultimately you have to make that switch. You have to make the switch for why you're doing this, to just being the person who is doing this, becoming that person who is an athlete, becoming that person who is not eating healthy food because it has certain benefits, but no, you're just a person who's living a healthy lifestyle. That's a part of your identity. You're not looking at it from a standpoint, okay, this is getting me this benefit, so this is logical that I should continue doing this, and it's kind of an external reward. I'm getting these abs, I'm getting strength, I'm getting a validation, all of that. It's more like, okay, I'm doing this because that's the person who I am. I'm an athlete. And this is a part of an overall journey of becoming the best human being I can be. And it integrates not just with me maximizing my health potential and really using the body, the gift that I've been given, but ultimately how this helps you with better results in other areas of your life, better relationships, higher self-esteem, which improves your business relationships and everything else. And we know that, and cognition, improved benefits for longevity, happiness. I mean, there's so many different benefits, and you're not even looking at these benefits anymore, because now you know that it's just a part of who you are, and you're doing it because you're driven from within. You're not driven anymore from that external standpoint, and that external standpoint no longer is valid for you. You don't even understand how people even need that external motivation anymore. And if someone would actually give you external motivation, it would demotivate you. You reach a certain point, if someone was actually paying me now to go to the gym, I would really not understand that, and it would probably make the whole thing more like some kind of job that I wouldn't really enjoy, as opposite to something where I'm truly doing it because I want to do it, because I chose to do it. It's a part of who I am, instead of actually being just driven with that external motivator. And we can see a little bit of research on this in business terms when managers are trying to motivate their staff, they throw a little bit of money at them, people start actually performing worse. People start doing less work, because now, instead of them being driven by mastery and by becoming the best human being that they can be in that field, in that domain, now they're just motivated by something almost as meaningless to them as money, because after they reach a certain threshold, they don't necessarily care so much about that anymore. It's really identifying what do you care about right now. Maybe it's not the abs anymore. Maybe it's something else. And if you're not in congruency with what you truly care about in the moment, if you're doing it for something else, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel authentic. And that's why a lot of people, I feel like they give up. And it takes a couple of cycles of kind of give up, you get back on track, give up, get back on track, to kind of ease into this and really make it who you are in your identity. But I hope this video will kind of cut that learning curve for you guys watching, and kind of give you that idea of that you can kind of start working on that and developing that and cutting off that need for external validation, external reward for actually doing this. So hope you enjoyed. A couple of thoughts that I wanted to share here with you guys, a little bit of philosophical video, a little bit of kind of standpoint of the mindset of the whole journey, and hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below how you resonate with this. Does this kind of hit a certain kind of note in there? I mean, do you feel like this is really somewhere where you were at some point, or you were anticipating to be? Hope you enjoyed. As I said, hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already to support the channel, and hit that like button as well, thumbs up, leave a comment as usual, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.